today's session we look at the View Filter Manager in ARUtils. This routine assists you in managing the view filters in a project, ensuring they're consistent, being aware of where they're being used, if at all. So let's have a look at the view filter that's been applied to this particular view. It's actually been set up to make all of our corridors appear red. So we'll just go into visibility graphics and you'll see here we've got corridor, we've overridden the lines and the patterns to be red, and transparency is 0%. If we have a look at that particular view filter, so we've got corridor, it applies to rooms, and basically wherever the name contains core, this filter will be met. Once it's met, it will then apply that particular override to the visibility of those items. Let's just cancel out of this and go into the View Filter Manager. So what we get when the View Filter Manager opens up is basically a list of all the filters that are in our project. We get the number of templates that those filters have been used in. We also get a list or a count of how many views are affected by that template. We get a count of how many views have that particular view filter applied directly, and then we've got the total number of views. So let's just sort by affected views, and you'll see that we've got a number of filters here that haven't been used at all. So if we wanted to tidy up our project, we could simply select those items, right click and say delete filters, and it's deleted those filters, and we now have those filters stripped from our project. So the other nice feature of the View Filter Manager is that you can reconcile the settings for view filters. So if this particular view has overrides that we want to use everywhere else, we can simply click on the view filter, say compare settings, and we then get a list of exactly what that view filter is applying. So we've got a list of views here, the view types, whether they're a template or not, the view scale, whether or not it's controlled by a template, and also we then have the overrides. Is the cut fill visible? What's the cut fill color? In this case it's invalid for this particular type of override. But probably the most salient thing here is the color that we have applied here, and the fact it's solid fill, and also that it's 0% transparency. So I can just click on that line and go apply as default, and that's now applying the settings from this particular view, as I selected that, to all of the other views, and we'll have a consistent use of that view filter throughout the project. So we've now gotten rid of redundant view filters. We've also rationalized the view filters for corridors. We now know that our project is very consistent. To have done that manually would have taken many hours. Let's just pick another view filter that's been applied to sections and elevations. So if we hit compare settings for that one, and you'll see that it's been used in 2 templates. There are 13 views that are affected by that, and there are 4 views that are in non-templated views. So when I say compare settings, we're only going to get basically 4 non-templated views and 2 templated views. There's no point us having a look at the settings for all of the views that are affected by the templates. So this quickly shows us that those particular views, in this case, they do in fact all use the same settings just by a visual scan. If there were some differences, then we'd probably be able to pick them up here. If I need to, say, open that view, and that then brings up that particular view, and I can explore it in more detail as to how that particular view filter is being used here. So if I go visual graphics, then you can see that some things are set to not be visible and others are set to be visible. So lets you do some things very quickly, and other things you can spend a bit of time just exploring how your view filters are being used. So the View Filter Manager, it's a great tool for really understanding how view filters are being used in your project and what rectification you may need to undertake to, for example, have view filters only appearing in templates. That would be the ideal situation, as it would ensure that your project is very consistent. So hopefully you've learnt something in this session, and you'll be able to save yourself lots of time and have a good, consistent project. Thank you.